Welcome to our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. My name is Sia, your host. We have a fabulous show for you today. The topic is cultural differences. We are going to talk to people from different countries, different backgrounds, and people that will make you not just appreciate foreigners living here in California, but in case you encounter foreigners at work or you have to travel somewhere, it will be really easy for you to interact with them. On our show, we are going to examine the differences, the similarities, and possibly how to bridge the gap. So you are in for a very special treat. Tell everybody you know about our fabulous show, the Yaba TV show. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to our fabulous show, the Yaba TV show. My name is Sia, your host. Today our topic is cultural differences. We are going to talk about our differences, similarities, compare and contrast, and maybe you or someone you know might just relate to this. Let me introduce my guest of today's show. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let me start with the far end, sir.
Good day, Sia. My name is Ian Salaveria. I have an online travel site, Jamaica Girl Travel. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and from a family of West Indian heritage.
West Indian, and I know you had mentioned Trinidad.
Yeah, my mother's a Vincentian from St. Vincent, and my father's Trinidadian.
You are a perfect candidate for our topic today, cultural differences. Right on. And you, ma'am?
Hello, Sia. I'm Dale Birdsong, and I am a new author, as a matter of fact, and I can be seen on owner Anointed Gifts and Services. I was born in Louisiana, actually, here in the United States, and I've been in California for the last 20 years.
And I know you are a poet too, and I've read some of your writings. Oh my goodness, fabulous,
Well,
great
you.
writings. Tell us, sir, you have such a fabulous African attires ready to showcase who you are. Tell us who you are.
My name is Charles Anchang. I'm originally from the Cameroons, the Central Africa, south of the Equator. And we are from a tribe called Njinikom, which is a very, very influential tribe in the whole country of Cameroon in terms of cultural awareness and what have we. And also here I studied law. And today, my wife and I, we co-publish the Immigrant magazine, a magazine that talks about diversity and integration of the new America.
More grace to your elbows. And you, sis?
My name is Pamela Anchang, and I'm from Cameroon with my husband together, and we publish a magazine called the Immigrant magazine. And we are actually here and very happy to be on the show today because we are about diversity and integration of cultures.
Wonderful. Well, you've heard the wonderful introduction. Let's get down to business. There are so many different cultures in California. You know, California is made of cultures, backgrounds from every place in the world. How do we bridge the gap? And if so, where do we start? I'll begin with you, Charles.
I think a very comfortable place for cultures to bridge is, first of all, is in the art. It's in culture. It's in literature. When people start reading about each other, when people start attending events or going to social events that other people from other cultures come from, then they start getting an understanding of these people. When you start watching shows like the Yaba TV show, you watch shows like other shows on TV that, like the International Travel Show, you get to understand how other people live, and that opens up the mind to be able to welcome other cultures.
As a publisher of Immigrant magazine, I'm sure one of the words or the key things you always publish is getting to know somebody different. How did you develop that idea?
You know, it's very interesting because the magazine came about as a result of those differences. You know, when you come to this country as an immigrant, you always encounter people, when you open your mouth, they say, where are you from? So there's always that cultural, immediately you begin to realize that language or the way we speak is one of the interlinguistic aspects of cultural diversity. So I figured that there was a divide between us, between people in the United States that come from all over. We look like each other, but we may not be like each other. So it was very interesting for me. I thought about it, and based on my experiences, I realized that even though I might look different, I might integrate differently, my issues really are similar to people from other places. So in my view, I decided that I would create a forum where people who think they're different can actually see the similarities.
Sounds wonderful. Jamaica Girl Travel. And I call you
Yes.
Jamaica Girl Travel because you are the originator of the travel agency, which is online. But before we actually ask you maybe detailed question about where you came from, your mom or your mom and dad, they are very different, meaning from different backgrounds. You as a product of cultural differences, what can you tell us today that we can do as a people to bridge the cultural divide?
I think it starts with yourself. We have to realize that the world doesn't revolve around us. It doesn't revolve around me as an individual. We're all here individually to help each other collectively. So when we meet other people, it is very important to want to find out about them, to try to understand the cultural differences, and we'll actually start to realize that there are so many similarities in our cultures that the differences are far outweighed.
Interesting. Dale, how are you today?
I'm wonderful.
I know you said you had traveled before to New Mexico, you said?
To Mexico.
Mexico. Cultures might have been different, the food might have been different, the weather, maybe the people. Tell us your experience.
Well, you know, what I found from being in Mexico was actually a wonderful experience. I was on vacation, and the culture there, the people are just absolutely beautiful. They are down to earth, very spiritual, and just very appreciative of what they have.
We need to take a quick break. When we come back, our viewing audience are going to be surprised because we have a lot to offer you today. Be back in a moment. You are back with our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. My name is Sia, your host. We will continue to talk to our wonderful guests about our topic today, cultural differences. I'd like to begin with the issue of Africans and African Americans. We have a fine difference. It may be similarities somewhat, but maybe we can find a bridge to gap between the cultures. Let me begin with you, Charles. Tell us, what do you think we should be doing as Africans to bridge the gap with Americans, especially African Americans?
I think the first thing we need to do as Africans in America is we need to reach out to our African American families and brothers and sisters. We need to actually try to open up to them and kind of kill the stereotypes we have sometimes about what media has told us in the past, about who they are and how they operate, and should really try to encourage ourselves to integrate more with them. We should visit with them, have talks with them, try to integrate their associations, their communities, and just try to work more with the African American people. We should volunteer for volunteering activities that have to do more with the empowerment of all of us as a people of African descent.
You're right when you said some of the media have not justified what really Africa stands for, meaning the good and not so good. Can you elaborate on that, sister?
You know, actually, I agree with him because to me, it's all about communication and getting to know one another. I actually have many beautiful African friends, and it's kind of interesting because I had this conversation with a friend of mine not too long ago, and it kind of came up because I guess he was had some run-ins with you know, Africans that he had a lot of things that he was saying that wasn't nice, and I said to him, I said, have you been friends with anyone? I said, you had one experience and you're relating that to everyone. How can you do that? I said, unless you get to know people and get to see them for who they are, how do you bridge that gap? Because that could be anywhere. You can run into anybody and they could do something to offend you, but that doesn't mean the whole culture is like that. And how do you change that? Such as he was saying, you have to reach out. You have to get to know people. You have to become friends with them. You have to go to their house and break bread with them. And that's why I know, because that's what I've done. You know, I have many friends and we've broken bread together. We ate together, we've gone to places together, and it's a beautiful culture, just as ours is.
How do we work on that thing called overgeneralization? Get to know somebody instead of overgeneralization.
Well, you know, unfortunately, we as Americans seem to think that if it's American, it's right. Other than that, there's got to be something wrong. That is stereotypical, if you will, of Americans, and that is something that we need to get over. And when we open up conversation between each other and we start to let down our guards and realizing that people are the same everywhere. We want the same things, each and every one of us. As a matter of fact, that's why we as immigrants are here in America. We want the same things. So again, I like to say that I have to take myself out of it because it's not about me. It's about us.
People. Bridging the cultural divide is such a huge thing. How do we do that, sis?
You know, what's very interesting is when you come, most Africans that come to the United States as immigrants, statistics show that they are mostly from high school going up because, you know, most have left high school or you're in college and you come here looking for better opportunities. Now, what happens is when people come here, immigrants in general, they're not integrated into the lesser social economic areas of the nation. So then the media, some of the media, has done a great job not only of stereotyping Africans, but also stereotyping African Americans. So there is this fear from the Africans towards the African Americans, and there's the feelings, the sense from the African Americans that they are not accepted by Africans. But what it is the media has done such a fantastic job of creating this divide. So now it's up to us as professionals in the media who are trying to create this bridge to tell stories, through our stories, through our music, through art, through different things.
Interesting. We will demystify Africa, possibly through the Yaba TV show or other forms of advertising or magazines such as the Immigrant Magazine and other shows that deal with Africa, traveling to Africa. So there's more to talk about. But when we come back, we are going to give you today's message on demystifying Africa through bridging cultural divide. We're back in a moment. We welcome you back to our inspirational show, the Yaba TV show. My name is Sia. If you're a first-time viewer of this show, man, I know you're going to really enjoy it today. Let me go back to my guest with a conclusion. Bridging the cultural divide is so important. And as we conclude this show today, could you tell our viewing audience one word that you would like for them to remember about bridging the cultural divide? I'll start with you, Pamela.
For me, it's just as simple as acceptability.
For me, it's tolerance.
And you?
For me, it's love.
Okay. And for you?
Working your faith, living your faith.
Living your faith. It's all good. Working your faith, love, tolerance, and getting to know each other, acceptability. It's all that thing called bridging the cultural divide. Bridge consists of so many things. Maybe for America, bridge is simple. For Africa, they literally have sticks and woods put together to tie it together and have a bridge. So we are talking about something very deep. But through the Yaba TV show and other means of publications, such as the Immigrant Magazine and other African shows that are yet to come, we will be able to demystify Africa based on first-hand knowledge. We live in this community. Our host country, America, is a wonderful place. But it's not just a place where you can come and manners fall from heaven on your laps. And for those that are not Christians or they may have not heard about this before, manners simply, you're not just waking up with a silver spoon falling from the sky to your feet or on your laps. You have to work hard for it. In other words, you will lay on your bed according to the way you fix it. So we thank you for coming to the Yaba TV show today and telling our viewing audience what you know about bridging the cultural divide, what you know about our cultural differences in this community and beyond. Again, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.